How you doing?
Hey, Robert.
Yeah.
Mary, nice to
Hi.
see you guys again. How are you guys doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Thank you for having this meeting again with me today. I know we met last week. Has
Mhm.
anything changed since then? How's
I've
business
lost some more
going?
tools.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's
More
not...
POs to cut,
Yeah.
more
Okay.
freight charges.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's great. Well, thank you again for scheduling this time out of your busy day
Mhm.
to meet with me for another 15 minutes. Sound good for you guys?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah, I gotta get back on the floor. I know I got something busted down, but I told him I gotta get 15, 20 minutes because if this, the solution works like you said it would,
Oh yeah.
benefit.
And so that's why we're actually here today, because I want to show you guys some of the solutions that we have at Fastenal. I think it'll come into your business quite effectively and
Okay.
really change the way you're going. So just to get started quick, I want to recap a little bit on last week's meeting,
Mhm.
and then we'll move forward ahead. But so last week's meeting, I learned that you guys roughly have about 20, 40 POs a week, multiple suppliers, FedEx, UPS deliveries, and occasionally you're spending a lot of money on overnight shipments.
Yeah.
You're also dealing with some organizational issues where you're losing tools, not being able to find the correct product that you need
Mhm.
on time, and
Yeah, it's a pain.
making delays for the whole facility.
Yeah.
Well, so from the current difficulties then arising from those problems I see is that you're having high freight costs due to the overnight shipments, the unorganized inventory, which is leading to stockouts and overstocks of some products, which is just tying up cash flow, and also just overall unproductive use of time. Having someone sitting there that's actually unboxing the FedEx boxes and going through, sorting, figuring out which goes where, is actually delivering it to those places within your facility. I just think it's really just an overall wasted time, in my opinion.
I agree.
And so, from those areas of difficulties, I see three areas to where we can actually potentially optimize those in order to save you time, save you costs, and save you real estate space. And just getting back to the time, the unboxing, the organizing, tracking, and handling all of your inventory coming in, the cost of having that freight coming in, the labor you're paying to have that broken down and sent
Mhm.
out, as well as keeping all that inventory on hand and the double orders and the stock outs, and then just the real estate of just having efficient locations of your inventory in order for your employees to be able to get what they need without having to hike all the way across your big warehouse out there, you know, to get everything, what they need, when they need it, without having them, you know, stopping and talking to 6 of their buddies on their way over to get a pair of gloves or whatnot. And so, from those problems and difficulties you guys are currently having, I see two major solutions that we can offer you at Fastenal, and that's our Fastenal Managed Inventory System, as well as our Fastenal Vending Solutions. Our vending solutions is relatively new, last couple of years, and that's actually one of my favorite products we have at Fastenal, and I'll get into why it's so cool. But as you can see there, that's just some of our bin stock locations. I actually have a better picture there that shows you just some of the different bins that we can bring into you guys in order to allow for the organization and just keep everything clean and neat. So the way the Fastenal Managed Inventory works is it really just keys in on putting an end to the stockouts and the too much inventory and the unorganization. And so the way it works is you have your Fastenal rep that's going to be there with you on a daily basis, or if it comes down to a daily basis, it might even be every other day, depends on how much inventory you guys are actually using, and it's all up to you guys. And so what we'll actually do is we'll come in with our new storage containers, and we will look out, we'll find the best place for these locations of your inventory spread throughout, preferably point of use locations, so it's right there, right for your guys on the job. And so we'll come through, figure out where everything needs to go. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to organize and label all of your inventory that you're going to use and that you would like us to supply for you guys. And so what we do by that is we get it all in our planogram system. And so it all is based off our min and max and our reorder quantities. And so our Fastenal rep will come through, we'll see you've used this much of this bolt this day. And so they're going to reorder the correct quantity and have it brought out to you the next time they're out there in order to keep everything running
Yeah, I
smoothly.
see an FMI service agreement. What's that service agreement state?
So our FMI service agreement is actually the agreement of us supplying your inventory for you. And so that, with that agreement of us supplying it, is when all this storage comes in for free.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I mean, these bins aren't cheap themselves, you know, and so it's completely included in our agreement, because we wanna overall help your business come together, be more efficient, more organized, and so that's the way we can offer that to our customers.
Right.
And so, then, once your product is, in our planograms and ready to go, when our Fastenal rep comes through and reorders and whatnot, brings it back out, we also have our report for you, our POs that we bring to you, and so you can double check, make sure, hey, this is how much product we brought out, this is how much you're using, and make sure it all matches up so that we all know that we're being fair to each other in this situation.
You already have some of these in your area, don't you? Some bins?
Yeah, they're kind of old and crappy. Will you come in and, you know, move the product around for me, or who does that? You guys do
Yep,
that?
we'll move it around. We can set it up however it best fits your needs based off of what you do on a
I think
daily
they
basis.
said though, if we, yeah, 'cause they said that if we change vendors, they're gonna take their bins away, so they give us new bins, that's fine.
Yep, and we'll bring as many as you need for your required
So
amount.
with this agreement, is it like a contract that we have to sign then, or how does?
So it's just a contract that agrees for us to supply your products.
Probably have to go through legal, don't you think?
Yeah.
Have our legal review that?
This week.
We will have to get probably a copy of that emailed to us, so I can
Okay.
send it to Shelley. Shelley, she's safety manager, she's legal.
Yep.
Send it to Shelley
Okay.
and have her review it.
Well, that's great. We're actually gonna talk about some safety stuff in a little bit. Maybe Shelley can sit on one of our next meetings. But, when the benefits of this system, it actually gives us the point of use locations, and so you're having your product on the floor where you guys need it, in your tool crib, all organized, you know, everything you need. You're not looking for specific bits for your drill anymore, you know, it's in labeled bins, how much you need, what you wanna keep on hand, etc. And so this all works together in order to, keep your place organized, keep your cost of inventory down, and it also helps you keep your cash flow untied up, because we actually store that inventory that you guys are gonna need. Like, we might know that you're gonna need this much inventory in this week, but we store it at our place, and we have those charges on us, the overhead on us, until it's actually brought to you to where you use it, and so it saves you costs of holding your inventory. And so it also allows you to consolidate your suppliers, less POs to multiple places, and it reduces the paperwork. Now we can talk about the cool stuff, the vending solutions, in my opinion. So these are just a standard series of some of our machines. I show you. Are you guys familiar with any of our vending?
No.
Not at all? Okay. So think of it like the candy bar machine. You need a Snickers, you go, you punch your number, and it spits out your candy bar. But think of that as in your highly consumed products, your safety glasses, your earplugs, your gloves, your drill bits, etc. Everything that you use on a daily basis where your employees are having to walk across the shop to go get and wasting time, it really puts it in there. And the whole point of it is the consumption rate. We want to control how much consumption, and that's where you really save money with these machines, is you control. On average, we're saving our customers 30% on their consumption rates. And so what it also gives you is 100% visibility. And so this vending machine has its own computer built into it, and so it can track everything that your employees are using. You can control how often they can use it, how many they can take, and also you can see those transactions. It's sent to you via email through your Fastenal account. And so what this does is it reduces the amount of labor, reduces stockouts, and it also has automated reordering and restocking, where our Fastenal rep, when we're coming out to supply your other bins throughout your store through the Fastenal, the FMI agreement, we also supply your vending machines right there on the spot.
So then these are connected to the internet?
So it's all based off the internet, and so it doesn't have to tap into your IT systems. There's no implementation to that, no cost with that. There's only the software housing fee that we have associated with the machines, which is $30 for the first year, $30 a month for the first year, and then $40 a month for the remaining years. And so that's literally the only cost associated with having this technology in your points of use throughout your warehouse. And so it actually, it just overall reduces the amount of consumption that you guys will be using. Like I mentioned, consumption, increased productivity, and the automated ordering where you aren't sending out POs for safety equipment every, 20 plus a week, on that sort of stuff. And so there's no capital expense as well. Everything is covered by us at Fastenal. So we bring it in, and you have a spending requirement, and that's why we put high consumable products in there. Not only because those are the ones that your employees are going to get all the time, but also the highly consumable products are going to be flowing through your machines in order to reach your spending requirement for the month. And then on top of that, the $30 a month for the first year.
What's the spend commitment?
So this is our flagship machine, the Fast 5000. And so our spending requirement on this machine is $2,000 a month. But if you can think about it, how much safety equipment are you guys currently going through? Drill bits, gloves, etc. Anything that's highly consumable. Would you say that you spend more than $2,000 a month on that sort of?
Probably.
And so
Most months, there might be some months, there's a couple months at the end of the year where we're not in production, that, we probably have half the staff, maybe a third of the staff.
Yeah.
What happens in those months where we don't meet a $2,000 requirement?
We don't meet the requirement, you have to make up that requirement, the difference between. So if you spend $1,800 that month instead of $2,000 in the machine, then that extra $200 will get charged, because that just covers our cost of the machine itself. And that's why we can give it to you guys for just the software fee that we have on you guys.
That's a little scary. But we figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't know what we put in it, so maybe we hit that dollar.
Do you think
Spend easily.
that would happen regularly?
I don't know. I don't know what we spend. I'm just the maintenance guy, so I just send my
Our
POs
production
and
is down a few months out of the year, so we're not always consistent with
I
our
don't know what we
spend.
put in there. Maybe we hit it, maybe we don't. It's just a question that I would have.
Okay, well, if that's a concern with you, we actually have smaller machines that have less spending requirements on them, and so you would be able to get to those.
But, the the months were busy, we definitely use it, so what type of machines, I'm assuming it's a smaller machine then?
It's
you might
about 3/4 of the size, maybe about.
probably use the bigger machine most of the time.
Yeah.
But just those couple months.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back here. So, I know that you guys use highly consumable products such as safety glasses, gloves, earplugs, and drill bits, polishing, abrasives and whatnot, adhesives. But I know you guys also use tools and whatnot. And I know there's a tendency throughout every manufacturing plant in the United States that tools somehow get up and walk away at points in time. And so that's where our standard door lockers come in. And we have a variety of sizes. I actually have a booklet here that can show you many more of our door lockers.
I only got about 4 minutes here.
Okay, no problem.
Sure
And so the coolest feature about our door lockers is a check-in and check-out feature. And so you have three DeWalt drills in your bins, and you allow this department to use those drills to do their work throughout the day. You can actually set it up to where that they have 8 hours from within checkout, their shift length, in order to get it back in the machine. Otherwise, it will send an automatic email out to your supervisor in order to allow them.
That happens a lot, yeah.
So it just really allows you to keep track of everything, and that's our biggest thing is the visibility and accountability that comes with these products. You can really dial in on who's using what, how much, why, and do they need to be using that much? Can we reduce that to overall reduce our costs?
All right.
And there's still a spend requirement on that?
There is a spend requirement on these two, depending on the size of the doors of the lockers, which model it is specifically, is what drives that cost as well.
So if he's gonna put his tools in there, how do we make up the spend?
Oh, so we would actually be supplying your tools for you then? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know if I buy $2,000 a month in
Right.
tools. I probably buy, I don't know, some months we don't buy any, because a lot of times those tools are warranted.
What about like abrasives and the chemicals you guys use in
Yeah, we use a lot of
tools and
that,
whatnot?
yeah, we use a lot of that.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's very versatile of what you can put in there, and so it actually, I think you guys could make up the difference if you weren't specifically on power tools.
Yeah, that's the only thing that concerns me about this, is the spend requirements for all of it. Because I mean, I could see us putting 5 or 6 of these out there, then you have a $10,000
Right,
spend
that's a lot of
requirement per
money.
month, that's a lot, so,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. Well, could you see where the actual visibility and accountability though could drive your consumption rates down enough to where it would make up for those spending requirements that you guys would have to get to?
I could if it's the 30%, I
Mhm.
mean, once again, Mary's the one who cuts the PO,
Yeah.
she knows what we spend, I don't, but I could see where consumption reduction would make up for that as long as, you know, we're spending that kind of money, you know what we're spending, I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, the best way for me to figure out how much you guys will actually be spending is for me to go out there with you guys and see exactly what you're using.
Okay.
And so I can compile a list together, I can go get prices on my end of the deal, and we can compare. I mean, Fastenal is not the most expensive, and we're not the cheapest. We're competitively priced, but where we add value to it is products like this, to where you can reduce cost and consumption. And so you might be paying more for this product, but you're saving it by using the consumption rate going lower. Do you
Makes
understand?
sense,
Mhm.
yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And so that's honestly the best way for me to understand,
Okay.
is for me to come through with you guys, and we can really list out everything you guys would want us to supply for you, and I can see everything, and even things that you don't think we could supply, we can probably supply it. We actually have manufacturers that are corporate approved, that we can pretty much just take a blueprint of your guys' product you need, and we can go get it made for you guys. And so, can you see where the value's added in this
Yeah,
product?
makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think? I know you're running late on time
Yeah.
right now. You think we could set up another meeting? I could come through, I could walk around with you and maybe your safety manager as well, and we could compile a list of things, and we
Yeah,
can go
that'd be a
move
good
forward?
idea. Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
that's perfect. Well, I'll let you get back to your maintenance. I know that's very important.
Mhm.
And so, well, thank you again for spending this time with me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay.